You want to know what Clive Davis did for Whitney Houston? He needed her back.
Oh, yeah.
He needed her back, but he needed her back and under his control. And then the next thing you know, she's dead.
In short, here is what a death clause does in my humble opinion. If an artist fails to perform or pay back advances, the artist becomes more profitable dead.
It appears Clive Davis is currently in full-blown panic mode, all because there's some rumor floating around. Whispers in the grapevine are suggesting that he could be linked, albeit indirectly, to the heart-wrenching downfall of none other than Whitney Houston herself. Oh my, can you believe the scandal potential here? So what exactly is going on? Clive Davis, often hailed as a virtuoso music producer and executive, is famed for his role in launching the careers of some of the biggest stars in the industry. Most notably, the late Whitney Houston, a once-in-a-lifetime vocal powerhouse, fell under his spell when she was just a young artist with boundless potential. Davis's knack for identifying extraordinary talent was unparalleled, and he did so with a charisma that made artists believe in the magic he could conjure for their careers. However, recent revelations are now showing that Clive might have actually benefited more from Whitney's demise compared to when she was alive.
Because there's a clause in record contracts that allows record labels to cash in even more after an artist's passing.
You see, the world of music contracts is a labyrinthine maze, riddled with complexities that often escape public scrutiny. Hank Harrison, a muckraking reporter, is someone that appears to have stumbled upon a chilling discovery buried deep within artists' contracts, the infamous death clause. This clandestine clause, also referred to as a non-performance or failure of performance clause, raises eyebrows due to its alarming implications.
Companies shall have the right to secure insurance equivalent to 10 times the estimated value of the artist's earnings.
This clause, as unearthed by Harrison, is a contractual provision that grants recording companies the astonishing power to rake in immense profits, even in the face of an artist's untimely demise.
In short, here is what a death clause does in my humble opinion. If an artist fails to perform or pay back advances, the artist becomes more profitable dead.
This seemingly nefarious maneuver ensures that record labels are entitled to claim not only their investments, but also a substantial portion of the artist's earnings from various revenue streams. The mechanism, shrouded in secrecy, empowers companies to secure hefty insurance policies against the artist's projected earnings, effectively making them beneficiaries of the artist's life and death. The inception of the death clause dates back to an era where the corridors of power were controlled by shadowy figures, reminiscent of scenes from the silver screen. It appears that this clause was designed to guarantee the label's financial security and influence, even if it meant profiting off the demise of an artist. In essence, the clause suggests that an artist who fails to meet performance obligations or repay advances becomes an even more lucrative asset in death. Intriguingly, this malevolent clause has evolved over time, adopting a subtler facade while maintaining its exploitative essence. Once valued in thousands, it now holds the potential to be worth billions, owing to the colossal investments labels make in nurturing and promoting burgeoning talents. The insurance policies procured under this clause serve as a safeguard against potential losses in the event of an artist's incapacity or demise, thereby safeguarding the label's investments and projected profits. Amidst this maelstrom of revelations, speculation has begun to swirl around the extent of Clive Davis's involvement with the death clause. As a mastermind behind the success of many artists, including Whitney Houston, questions arise about whether he reaped any benefits from the tragic loss of his prized protege. While no concrete evidence has surfaced linking Davis directly to this exploitative clause, artists and insiders have started to come forward, painting a troubling picture of his role in potentially capitalizing on the grim provisions of the clause. Whispers have transformed into outspoken voices as several artists shed light on their experiences within the clutches of the music industry's dark underbelly. Their stories echo the same sentiment, that the death clause, once a well-guarded secret, is not a relic of the past, but a contemporary reality. It has been alleged that Davis and other industry magnates might have leveraged this clause to their advantage, using it as a financial safety net against unforeseen losses. One person who spoke about this is avant-garde musician Diamanda Gallis. Days after Houston's tragic demise, Gallis took to her Facebook page calling the record executive a colossal pig. According to Gallis, Houston should have been allowed to study for a minimum of 2 years with a voice therapist or teacher before even rehearsing, let alone performing on stage. In the entry, she claimed that the singer was put back on stage before she was ready to perform by Davis. Gaylis wrote that Houston was ill-prepared to perform, writing, "What was she put on stage as? A lesson that drugs kill? Hey, want to see a crack hoe sing?" Courtesy of Clive Davis. Wow, man, that will be some freaky-ish, right? You bet, man. Gaylis didn't stop there, claiming that Davis could now, quote-unquote, package her death in frills and sell it big time, even during the nadir of record sales. She even went so far as to claim to foresee what the 79-year-old record industry vet would say in response. And Clive and Sony will say, even though we do not hope to even break even with this uncompromising tribute to Whitney Houston, we feel personally that it is her due as the foremost singer ever on our labels and as the lovely girl she always was to us. At the time, a spokesman for Davis responded by saying, while Miss Gaylis is entitled to her uninformed opinion, her Facebook post is wholly inaccurate and offensive. Clive Davis cherished Whitney and shares a mutual love for the Houston family. It is absolutely outrageous for anyone to suggest that Mr. Davis ever had anything but Whitney's best interest at heart. If you think it's only Gaylis making these insinuations, you'd be wrong. Gaylis's comments were echoed by Jaguar Wright in a recent interview where she claimed that Davis knew he needed Whitney back under his control, and that's why he was forcing her to have a comeback.
He needed her back.
Oh, yeah.
He needed her back, but he needed her back and under his control.
For context, Clive orchestrated Whitney's comeback in 2009 after years of substance abuse and a messy relationship which ended in a messy divorce. Her debut album, I Look to You, sold 304,000 copies in its first 7 days on the market, sending Houston back to the top of the charts and giving her the best debut week of her career. Houston still stands for the best of songwriting, the best of singing, and we know the public wants it, Clive said in 2009. There is a song on this album which is called I Didn't Know My Own Strength, and it really speaks for Whitney. She tumbled, but she didn't crumble. In any case, Whitney did not release anything after that since her voice had been ruined due to substance abuse, much to Clive's disappointment. But despite the undeniable vocal decline and the unmistakable shadow cast over Whitney's star power, Clive's optimism seemingly remained unscathed. Of course, one might wonder if his rosy outlook was fueled by the substantial coin he continued to rake in from her legacy. It's difficult not to speculate whether Clive's unwavering hope was propelled by the echoes of revenue streams rather than genuine concern. In any case, it was no secret that the music mogul appeared to be more invested in making money than in his protege's well-being. You see, Whitney died on February 11th, 2012, the day before the Grammy Awards. This was hours before she was to attend Davis's annual pre-Grammy party. At the time, the public and lovers of her music worldwide were devastated by her passing. However, Davis, Whitney's self-proclaimed friend and mentor, still hosted his pre-Grammy party in the Beverly Hilton Hotel on the evening of February 11th, despite the singer's body remaining inside the building until 12:45 a.m. At the start of the event, he shared a tribute to Houston, saying, "By now you have all learned of the unspeakably tragic news of our beloved Whitney's passing. I don't have to mask my emotion in front of a room full of so many dear friends." The Grammy Award winner continued, "I am personally devastated by the loss of someone who has meant so much to me for so many years. Whitney was so full of life. She was so looking forward to tonight, even though she wasn't scheduled to perform. Whitney was a beautiful person and a talent beyond compare. She graced this stage with her regal presence and gave so many memorable performances here over the years. Simply put, Whitney would have wanted the music to go on, and her family asked that we carry on." Clive's actions on that day left fans scratching their heads, fostering a unanimous sentiment that the esteemed music mogul seemed to be playing a rather out-of-tune note when it came to honoring his supposed dear friend's enduring legacy. Meanwhile, with the recent revelation of the secret clauses hidden in artists' contracts, fans are now calling out the music industry for taking advantage of deceased artists for profits. One particular fan commented, "It is amazing how these companies can keep spinning themselves as nice guys because they control the narrative." And portraying Clive Davis as a nice guy in Whitney Houston's life is just one of the many ways the history gets distorted. In any case, whether or not Clive benefited from Whitney's tragic demise is still up for debate. However, the fact that such death clauses are placed in artists' contracts is just another proof that the music industry is truly preying on artists. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.